BodyBags, where horror lies.
Welcome back to BodyBags. This is week 408. This is a random week, and I'll be your host, Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Did you miss me? Let's see, today we're going to be talking about Diablo. Diablo is a 2015 film which runs approximately 96 minutes, and it's written and directed by Lawrence Roick. Now, he was responsible for Demigods and The Forger. This stars Scott Eastwood as Jackson, and yes, that is Clint Eastwood's son. Not the only one, but he was in Overlord. But yeah, he was also in Suicide Squad, The Longest Ride, and Fury. All three decent movies. This also stars Walter Goggins as Ezra. He was in The Hateful Eight, Predators, Fat Man with Mel Gibson, and he was in one of my favorite series, Justified, which is basically a kind of a Western type show, a modern Western, with a marshal, and Walter Goggins played the bad guy in it. And Camilla Bell as Alexandra. She was in Practical Magic, 10,000 BC, and When a Stranger Calls, the remake. Now, this was Scott Eastwood's first Western, which to me treads on pretty sacred territory. Before I get into my synopsis on the film, I just wanted to say this is a horror Western, in my opinion. Much like my friend Rob, who did 4 of the Apocalypse, which is a Lucio Fulci film. He did that a few weeks ago, or last week, or I'm getting my weeks mixed up, but he did that film. That one also has horror elements to it. If you do watch Italian Westerns, they do have some horror elements to them. And Diablo, which is this film, actually has horror elements to it. As a matter of fact, I consider the entire thing a psychological horror movie. Now, Scott Eastwood plays Jackson. In the beginning of the film, his house is burned down, and you see them, a bunch of outlaws, kidnap his wife and ride away with her. And I believe he gets shot, if I remember correctly. So he's trying to find them. He's trying to get his wife back and make them pay, of course, for what they've done to his family. Meanwhile, on the trail, he meets a bad guy named Ezra, who is just stopping him to no end several times on the trail that he's following to get his wife back. Unfortunately, that's all I can get into. I'm not going to tell you where the psychological horror comes in, and this is actually partially a slasher movie as well. So I'm not going to tell you where that comes in. You'll have to watch it for yourself. Let me just say that I love this movie. This movie completely took me by surprise. I watched it again the other day, and first of all, I love horror Westerns. Anything that has to do with that, count me in. Bone Tomahawk, The Pale Door, I'm in. So, yeah, it's one of my favorite subgenres of horror. Although we don't really have that many. So, we need to make some more, that's for sure. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.